Just not getting it.
Well, I think there's plenty of bullet dodging stories to go around, but I think we're going to stop dodging the bullet and we're going to play a game that I like to call 21 Questions, and we don't get an opportunity to play it often. So since we have a small panel, we'll play it today. 21 Questions basically goes like this. Some answers are long form, some are very short, but the game is designed to tell us a little bit about you, and maybe even you a little bit about yourself. So I'm going to start with, what is the first thing you do when you wake up? Big Dave. Clean for the audience.
I can't do that.
I can't answer that question.
I can't answer that question because it'll incriminate me. I was going to say scratch my balls, but
Close enough.
kind of the first thing a man does when he gets up in the morning. I look at the clock, I roll over, I see it's 4 o'clock, and I say, here we go, another day, let's go get it. That's what I really do.
Ben?
Hop in the shower. It's immediate and necessary. I can't psychologically function usually if I don't hop in the shower first thing. It just wakes me up and gets me going.
He's a bartender. So he gets up at like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very true.
And he can't
Not
function if
between
he
10,
doesn't
11 o'clock
if
and
he
4
doesn't have a
o'clock.
shower.
It's a very big difference between 11
But what time do you normally go to bed?
9:30.
What time do you go to bed?
4 in the morning.
Yeah,
and there you go. There you go. So, favorite pair of shoes of all time? You either own them or you really admire them.
Ben.
I think probably I don't remember what year it was. It was these Air Jordans. Yeah, I'm not talking about. Okay, so I'll preface this by saying it's not my favorite now, but I remember them being. I just loved them so much at the time. They had these 2 straps that crossed over each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh,
As a kid,
I'm trying to
I was
remember
just
those the
fascinated.
4s, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, those might be the 6s. Either way it goes.
Yeah.
A pair of Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is somewhat embarrassing. I think the favorite pair of shoes I ever had, I was in high school, and we had bell bottoms, and we had platform shoes.
All right.
I knew you were going to say that.
And I had 2-inch platforms.
As soon
I
as
was
you said
already
bell
6'2",
bottoms.
see? And my bell bottom, and I would wear these things to a school dance. And I had platform shoes, red plaid bell bottoms, a white shirt, and a blue vest.
Excellent.
And I was duding, man, I was duding all the way. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I'm a bad MF. I look back, we just were moving my mom out, and I haven't found a picture of that, thank God. And if I did, I would burn it.
No, that's wonderful. I would love to see that.
What are yours? What are your shoes that you love or admire?
I have so many.
Mine?
Yes.
Mine would be
Yes.
a pair of Louboutins.
A pair of what?
Christian Louboutins.
Pair of
Red bottom shoes.
A pair of Christian Louboutins, yes.
Just a classic, not like spiky or anything.
Yeah, just classic black pump.
Well, I don't know if it has to be black, but
Just Christian Louboutins.
yes.
They had red bottoms.
They
Yeah,
do.
that's it. That is his trademark of his shoes. They have.
A lot of people try to copy it, but it's a certain color of red.
Yeah, and they're actually handmade in Italy. They're expensive and beautiful.
They are.
Expensive and beautiful.
They make very beautiful men's shoes too.
Yeah.
Not they, he makes very
I have some
beautiful.
fine Italian leather now. I've gotten a lot classier since those days.
Yeah.
Thanks to my female.
That is the
Definitely has
one.
a shoe fetish. That woman has more shoes.
Oh yeah, I definitely have a shoe fetish, and we don't help each other in that regard because
No,
I'm
'cause
pretty
I
sure
do
he
too.
has more shoes than I do. Well, no, probably pretty close to the same number, but
Yeah, I love shoes.
But
and
yeah.
stuff,
I don't get to wear the ones I like very often because they're not easy to walk around in all day long.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I can't even say a brand, but if you get just a really fine, comfortable, like a walking boot, like an ankle boot.
you go through phases though because you went through the check-ins really hard like 6 months ago.
Yeah, but
And
yeah.
bought like
Yeah, a bunch of
7 pairs of them.
which I do love, and they are comfortable. They are just
Those
the
are
Clark Desert boots. They're like just like an ankle chucker.
Good
They're-
zip on the side.
Yeah, and
Nice looking. They're
yeah,
nice
but
looking boots.
yeah, any just about any kind of ankle boot. My cousin would probably call. My cousin likes to call them John Lennon's. You know, like say it just. But I've always loved boots. Just a fine soft leather boot, and you just can't go
I do
wrong.
like me some boots.
I'm glad Lane's not here because he probably would have said Crocs.
He might have said Crocs.
And that would have been embarrassing.
I could see him saying Crocs.
I'd be smacking
And then just
people.
laughing.
in it. My daughter got a
I
pair
would
of Crocs,
smack
and I'm like, "What is wrong with you? They're
Smacking
comfortable."
too. Anyway.
Like that is not.
We
That is
definitely-
a fashion
I hope
statement that
Lane
you don't want to
listens
make.
to this episode. I'm sure he will, and I want to make sure we included him.
Favorite car of all time?
Oh boy.
So either that you have owned or that you have admired.
Bad.
Okay, so I think my favorite type of vehicle, and I'll share this with Carolyn actually, is that I would really love to own a really, really nice Jeep Wrangler. Just the sport utility of it, and I just like the look.
Yeah.
But for favorite car that I've ever owned, was the very first car I owned, just for memory's sake.
Yeah.
And that was a 1996 Chevrolet Cavalier.
All right.
Not luxurious, and I tore it to pieces.
Yeah. I had one of those. Had a red one.
Yeah.
I had a Cutlass. That was my first Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah.
They were badass cars.
Yeah, I like
Those
those
Springs
Supremes.
are nice cars.
Uh-huh.
Now, I have to list two vehicles. My current truck has become my favorite truck, and it's a Dodge half-ton toolbox Ram with all the technology in it. The toolbox locks with the fob. Everything's touch tone. You grab the handle, it unlocks the door. You don't have to touch nothing. Everything is computerized. So when it goes out of warranty, I'm sure it'll cost me an extra $10,000 because there's probably 20 computers in the dang thing. However, my favorite car was also my first car, was an AMC Pacer.
I don't even know what that is.
And the back seat
A
is
Pacer? Look
A
it up
Pacer.
sometime.
Okay, I'm
An
just
AMC
gonna Google
Pacer.
it now.
and the Pacer had a back seat that would fold down.
Okay.
And there were certain ladies that want to go out with me because I carried a sleeping bag and a pillow in the back of the Pacer. But there was also certain ladies that
There's a
wouldn't go out
hatchback
with
too,
me
weren't
because I carried
Pacers?
a sleeping bag and a pillow in the back seat of the Pacer.
Oh,
But
wow.
the favorite
Weren't-
thing about the Pacer was we put 5 people in there and had an 8-track, and we put the 8-track in, be rocking out, and everybody light up a joint.
No, that's
And we'd smoke a joint until you couldn't see the people from the front seat to the back seat. And roll up, throw them the doors and roll out just laughing our asses off, stoned out, Chinese died, stoned out of our brains, and just have a great time. For a high school vehicle, we had a lot of fun in that car.
Big Dave, hotboxing the Pacer.
There you go.
I have 2.
Okay.
I mean, you know, when we did a few of my favorite things, I was SUV.
Yeah.
So, you know, I
SUV.
would love to have a Mercenary.
Jeep Mercenary.
All
yes.
black wheels, black everything.
Black on black crime. Yeah. I'd say as our friend Kalia
Kalia would
said.
say.
It's too bad we don't have,
She
our
said
elder
if she had a black car, she would name it it would be all black, and she would name it Black on Black Crime.
That's funny.
Too bad we don't have our elder statesman, Dave Tiemann.
Dave
here.
Tiemann,
I'm going to give Dave Tiemann a shout out on this.
Oh yeah.
Dave Tiemann does enjoy the finer vehicles of life. In
yes,
fact, he's
yes.
driving a very nice Porsche
Very
right
nice
now.
Porsche Panamera
Yes, yes.
right now.
My other one would be a BMW Z3.
Nice. I definitely went through the in love with BMW stage. I just love.
Well,
BMW.
I mean, you know, if you're going like full on like fantasy, I would get a Maserati.
Yeah, well, that's my that is my
Things
bucket
that I
list.
could potentially own in my lifetime
Yeah.
would be the two I said.
I'm not writing it off.
But you get a Maserati, you also have to put a lawyer on retainer.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But yeah, my fantasy vehicle, yeah, it's a Maserati. But I think my favorite car, like you say, I think just because of nostalgia sake, would be my first car was a 78 half rag Monte Carlo. Love that car, and it ran like a top until the day it just stopped running altogether. Like it ran perfect, and then it stopped running. And love that car. If you were stuck on an island and could only play 3 albums, what would they be?
Boy, that is a difficult question. Do you mind? Go ahead.
You rather me go?
Yeah, I'm gonna think about this for a moment.
Almond Brothers.
Huh.
Eat a Peach.
Okay.
Dark Side of the Moon. Steely Dan, Aja.
Huh. Okay. All right. I was about to say, yeah, actually, Steely Dan. Yeah, that's good.
You know, I think I'm gonna have to concur with Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
To be honest, I mean it's just such a game-changing album, and it's long and pleasing, and everything about it. You know, it's great. Second, oh boy. Probably okay. I'm gonna go with the first CD I ever bought was Weezer Blue Album. I never really get tired of that. And then I'll go with, oh man, Outkast, ATLiens.
Yeah.
I mean, man, there's so many hip hop albums to choose from.
Yeah.
I got to put one more in there, though. I don't know which one will replace the 3. Santana, Moonflower.
Moonflower
Was a fantastic album.
Yeah.
That had Europa on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That had some very, very good songs. It's another one I would have to consider.
Now, Ms. Female?
Oh, that's so hard for me. Justin Timberlake, Future Sex Love Sounds.
Future Sex Love Sounds, yeah.
Michael Jackson. Oh, I don't know if it would be Off the Wall or Thriller. Probably Off the Wall.
Yeah, probably Off the Wall. Yeah, if I was picking, yeah.
And the third one would be a Beatles album. I'm just not sure which one. I feel like you get a good mix of upbeat and mellow and.
The White Album would definitely be one. Even Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Their later stuff.
Sgt. Pepper's is probably one of my favorite.
Yep.
Probably one of my favorite.
Ooh, that's really...
The Yellow Submarine gets in my head every once in a while.
I know.
Go away.
My son went through a phase of wanting to. We got him the album because he just wanted to hear it over and over and over again. I'm like, I think that's when we got him his first Walkman, a CD player and headphones.
Yeah.
Because I was so tired of hearing it. I'm like, here.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, that is a really hard question for me. I almost have to go by genre for each of the 3, but I think if I had to pick, it is really a hard decision between the first Outkast album, Southern Playalistic, and ATA Lynch.
Okay.
I would probably want to go with probably a Michael Jackson album, and that's hard. 3 is so hard because I could probably name 10 that I definitely.
Well,
would
I
want.
could tell you the 3 right now, and it may be different next week.
Yeah,
you
this is true. This is true. I mean, I definitely would want. I would definitely want.
You don't want your own music?
I was finna say I definitely would want a Prince album.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I would definitely, and that's a really difficult to pick because a lot of his
So many songs.
earlier work. But I think
Can't we just pick all the music we have by the artist we like?
Yeah. It would probably be Prince Sign of Times. Album. And so we got an Outkast, we got a Prince, and that last album is hard because that's either gonna be Michael Jackson Off the Wall, or I'm gonna go really hip hop and have to be like Gangstar's Hard to Earn or something like that.
Were you in the NWA?
Yeah, love NWA.
Because they were really
love the entire Dr. Dre catalog.
I know,
That's
man,
what I'm saying.
it's so hard.
That's to say that's a hard one. That's
You
a
see,
really hard
That's
one.
where I really seen you going was
That's a
because you
hard
were so
one
into
for me.
hip hop early on that when NWA came out, I mean that was starting in the real raw form of hip hop.
Yeah, like I would definitely. If I could pick more than 3, yeah, I would definitely want one of the NWA albums. I would want a Tribe Called Quest album.
Yeah.
Like there's like I say, I can.
That's
I can
why
definitely,
it is hard because
Yeah.
especially as if you have a love of music in general,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hard
Yes.
to.
Yeah, and actually, Future Sex Love Sounds, that would actually be on my list too. That's a great album.
Yeah, I
But-
never get tired of hearing that.
Because
one.
as an old white guy, you watch NWA and then you got Flavor Flav up there.
Oh yeah.
And he just had that comic element to it. Of
Yeah.
being who he was and how he was.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though he's a hell of a good rapper,
Absolutely.
but he still was he just added that extra element to get away from what the rest of them were so serious.
Yeah,
You got him out with a big clock on him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just had to look at him and go, man, that dude's original.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and I would definitely have to have Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On Now."
Yeah.
I would have to.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what I would kick off the boat to keep that album, but I would have to keep that album.
because a man can do very well with a woman with that album.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Let's
if you're by
just put it that
yourself,
way.
I drive you crazy.
I do have a quick confession. I did have an 8-track Barry White tape.
All right. Ooh, see, yeah,
that worked.
I would, yeah.
I put that in, and that
like some Barry
helped
White.
with the back seat
Yeah.
and the sleeping bag and the pillow a lot.
Oof, yeah. Love Barry White, and that's what I say. That's a hard one for me. What is something you've always wanted to try but have been too afraid to?
Acid.
What's that?
Right to the drugs.
Acid.
Acid?
Never tried it.
I've been there, done that. More than once. Purple microdot mescaline is good stuff. Something I'm afraid to try, but I never did. Probably jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say like, yeah, definitely like parachute or, shoot, just being normal everyday stuff, just, public speaking. People that know me think that is not a problem I have. Absolutely is a problem I have.
I can attest that it's a real fear. It's real.
Well, it's one of the number one fears that humans have.
It is, but Mario, he said he's never seen it like I haven't.
Yeah, no, that was special. That was brand new for me. What accomplishments?
Wait.
What about you?
What am I?
Skydiving?
What am I?
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Parachute.
it will actually probably be like skydiving or parasailing or something like that.
Parasailing's pretty cool. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, I won't say I won't say I've
love
actually been
parasailing.
afraid to do it. I just haven't done it yet, parasailing. But skydiving, that's one of those things. Like you say, I just, I'm a little leery of it. But it seems like it would be such a cool experience.
In my younger day, I would have done it. But I'm on self-preservation policy now.
I hear that.
Man.
I hear that. Let's see. So what accomplishment are you most proud of?
Probably being Eagle Scout. It's a very low percentage of people who get that done within that amount of time, and it taught me a lot. And it's, I'm in that rarefied club of people who made it to Eagle.
Okay.
But I was
Life skills for.
yeah. I was forced to get it though. My dad would not let me get my driver's license until I got my Eagle Scout.
Okay.
I would not have gotten it.
No way.
That's what happens. You get that car,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't care. But no, I'm very glad he made me do it. And I got to. It afforded me a lot of opportunities that I otherwise would have not been able to do without it. So that's it.
Awesome.
Well, for those of you that know me, I think it's pretty well no-brainer. It's basically ascending out of homelessness and drug addiction, and marrying a beautiful woman, and ascending to where I am today by learning to climb the ladder, to understand I can't do it by myself. I have to have God's hand upon my shoulder to give me the strength every day. I got to have the love of Jesus in my heart. Give myself compassion.
Yep.
But I now own a 50-year company and worked my way up, earned it, and bought it, and it's still successful. So, I think that's hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think that's hard to beat, but, things like that in life you cannot do by yourself. You have to have the desire, but you have to have the strength. And you can. And that also comes from my parents and the way they raised me, and my grandparents and the models that I had. When I had that, at least I had something to grab onto. And I look at a lot of kids out there, I work in inner city some charities, and they don't have anything to grab onto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you got to work real hard to give them something to grab onto, and make them understand that they are capable of doing anything that I did.
Yeah.
But it ain't an easy go.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to get up every day, put your game face on.
Yeah.
Let's go get it, baby. Because yesterday may have sucked, but you can't do anything about it. It's a new day, let's go get it.
Let's go get it. Lime female?
I would say just seeing the people that my children have become. They're compassionate, caring. They're good kids. They're good people, and they didn't. God bless. They never got arrested. Never got into drugs. Never. They were just good. Yes, they got in trouble, but they didn't break the law.
They didn't stay in trouble.
They did,
Right,
yeah,
right,
they
right.
didn't, and you know, they're,
They didn't make any mistakes. They couldn't come back from.
my son is, and always has been, very big on anti-bullying, and he doesn't like to see it, and he defends, you know, the underdog, and my daughter is the same way. She, you know, she doesn't like to see injustice on any level.
That has a lot to do with you, though.
And it
Does. It has a lot to do with you, an honest female.
well,
It does. It's how you raise them.
yeah, and I'm
Set the
proud of
example.
that. I'm
Set the
proud
example.
that, you know, without beating it into them, that they
All the time.
learned. Yeah.
Some of the time you have to.
Yeah, they never got a punishment that they didn't deserve. I will say that.
I got a lot of punishments I deserved.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know. There's a lot of little things. You know, I've been on the job that I'm on now for over a decade, and that, you know, that's a big accomplishment. I'm proud of that, and I'm really proud of you know, launching the Loft Party brand and the podcast. I'm really proud of it.
What about your father? You dealt with your father very well this latter years.
Yeah.
You know, you
but
should be
I'm
proud of that.
I'm
you
actually
did a lot of things there.
Yeah, I think the thing I am most proud of is the relationships in my life that I've been able to cultivate, and you know, family and friends, because you know, they've all enriched my life in a way, and
Sure.
and I'm really, you know, proud of you know, between my pop and my grandfather, you know, of you know, kind of the man that they kind of groomed me to be, and you know, and I, you know, hope every day that I'm, you know, honoring them, you know, in that. So not to get heavy or whatever. We'll move right along to the next question. What is your favorite place to go on a weekday afternoon when you have no plans or obligations?
Boy.
But since my wife has spent the better half of a year down in Florida, I have to say, I enjoy going out, you know, to JJ's. We're coming up here to the club at the Pendergast, and just having some drinks with friends and hanging out with them. One of our good friends, Diane, has a house down in West Plaza, and I really enjoy, you know, we'll have dinner there sometimes out on our back deck and grill, and we'll have drinks, and we just sit around. We sat around Friday night, her and her boyfriend Herb had me over, and we sat around and watched Allman Brothers videos on her computer and listened to music, and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and just kind of, you know, picked out some old stuff like that and had drinks and something to eat. It was just a nice night. You know, those are the simple pleasures sometimes. I think that's more than anything what I like to do with a little bit of off time.
Anywhere where there's fantastic food and beverage. I don't have anything in particular because my mood changes all the time. So there are plenty of places in Kansas City that afford good food and drink. So whatever I'm in the mood for, if I can go somewhere to a bar or a restaurant and relax and get my taste buds going, get a little drunk, you know.
There you go.
But if I'm not going anywhere, I love to be either hanging out with Carolyn or with my headphones on, sitting at my computer and absorbing recreation electronically.
Yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see that. I'm assuming.
My favorite place would be on a hammock under a tree with a nice breeze and probably reading a book.
I think for me,
That's how I recharge.
I think for me, it's probably the same as Dave. I really like getting together with friends, having a good drink, good smoke, and just relaxing. If I'm not doing that, just going into the home studio and you know, trying to come up with something cool.
Driving me crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, hey, listen to this. You know, doing one of them all the time. So, what drives you to do what you do?
Well,
In what
gotta
sense?
pay the bills.
I was gonna say, in what sense are you talking about? Like work or
Yes.
just your
Yeah,
life or?
Yeah.
well, what drove me into the restaurant business was, you know, being in my 20s and not having a clue what to do, and my very first job was in a restaurant, so I just kind of fell into that system. But it's got its nice moments. You know, at least it's an indoor, air-conditioned, co-ed environment with typically some very good food around. You learn a lot about people in this business. But going forward, what drives me is my desire to get out of, you know, just, I mean, I'm not going to say poverty. I'm not in poverty, but I would like to be, I would like to have more resources, so I'm going to, you know, move on.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Dave?
I think what drives me more than anything is failure. I have learned from my failures. My successes come from my failures. So my drive is definitely that. Every day I want to get up and work hard at succeeding and trying to understand what I failed at so I can succeed better from my failures. And also I want to make my ancestors proud of me, which makes you proud of yourself.
Amen.